What's up, guys? Eli here, back for a new stuff video. We're gonna do, honestly, it's gonna be kind of a part two to my video last week or whatever, talking about the generosity of this community that we have. The only reason I didn't include this stuff in that video is because there was kind of a lot, and there was just way too much to put into one video, and this was like. This guy sent me a ton of stuff, so I figured this would need a video of its own, and it would deserve a video of its own for sure. So, I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I won't do that, but a guy that watches my videos, his handle is Infernusrex. I'm sure some of you guys know him too. Surely I'm not the only one. He's a great guy, and I've gotten to know him a little bit, from messaging back and forth and stuff like that, and I'm just yet another person that I'm super grateful to have met through YouTube. So thank you so much for the stuff that you sent me. I have been slowly digesting it. So some of this stuff I've heard, some of it I haven't heard yet, but I'm excited to go through all this one way or the other. Is he used to run a label called Sylvan Screams Analog. He hasn't done it in a while, but I know he said that he kind of wants to do it again, and I think that'd be awesome if he did. He put out some really cool stuff, so I'm going to start with the releases that he put out through his label. Now, to start, we'll go with Lyset. This was the 2013 demo from this Spanish black metal band. Haven't got around to that one yet, but it definitely looks cool. Looks up my alley. Black metal is, one of my favorite genres of music ever, so stoked to listen to that one. And it looks like this was the third release that he had put out on his label. There's the J card. Very cool. Then we've got the debut full-length album from Dutch band Asgrau. Now I actually have I've heard this band years back. It's been a while. I won't pronounce the album name just because it's in Dutch, and you don't want to hear me try to pronounce something in Dutch. Again, I've heard this band. It's been a long time, though. I remember digging it. The Netherlands is a country that pumps out a lot of good black metal, death metal as well. So it's not surprising that it'd be quality, but really excited to listen to this one, because I'm not sure if I've heard this actual release or not. I just know I've heard the band in the past. So Dutch black metal, check it out. Then we've got a couple of tapes from a band called Dunnock, black metal from California, Berkeley, I believe, which was kind of not far from the area where I grew up as a kid. So starting off with the Rainy Season EP. I have listened to this one a couple of times, actually. I really liked it. This is the 22nd release on Sylvan Screams Analog. This one's quite a DIY J card, which is, honestly, how black metal should be. This is just, I'm not going to be able to describe it perfectly. It's raw black metal. It's definitely black metal that is very, very raw. As far as comparisons or anything like that, I'm not really sure. I'll leave a song clip after this for you to check out, but I don't know, something about it keeps me coming back. I've listened to it 2 or maybe even 3 times, and it's only like 22 minutes long or something like that, if I remember correctly. But it was good. I liked it. Limited to 55 copies. I don't know if any of this stuff is available at all anymore. You can check Discogs. Then I've got Little Stories Told by Ghosts by Dunnock. I haven't listened to this one yet. This is the 37th release on Sylvan Screams Analog, limited to 50 copies. I actually have the 50th copy. So I have the last one. I would assume that these are not available anymore, but there's always Discogs. This one done on Pro Tape. Very nice. It was a split release, by the way. Not a split release, but a release a joint release, I guess you'd call it, when two labels collaborate. I'm not sure what the other label was, but yeah, interested in hearing this since I really liked that other Dunnock album. Then we've got Des Chain with Upon the Oaken Throne, the 28th release from Sylvan Screams. This is black metal from Indiana, debut full length from 2011. Haven't listened to it just yet. And we've got Zexes with Primeval Mountain, black metal from Illinois. This is the debut full-length album from 2006. Now, this is some interesting stuff. This is black metal. Metal Archives listed as chiptune black metal. So it's black metal made with some of the instruments made... how do you describe this? I don't know really what chiptune is, but like some of the music is taken from an old Nintendo game called Zexes. Oddly enough, I grew up playing Nintendo, but I had never heard of this game, so it's one that slipped past me, I guess. I have done some research on it, and it appears to be a super cool game, quite the cult classic. And as dumb as this might sound to you, you black metal guys, you might be like, oh, that sounds fucking dumb. It's really not bad. It's actually pretty cool. It sounds like raw black metal. If you like stuff like Summoning and stuff like that, I think it's worth checking out. I'll admit, when I first researched this, I was like, oh, this is just going to be like a laughable joke. But it is actually a dude that takes this serious, and I think he just wanted to do something different. I can't remember. The dude has been in other bands that I've listened to, and he's a talented guy for sure. Now this right here is the first release ever on Sylvan Screams. This is a band called Twilight Fauna. Black metal from Tennessee, debut album from 2012. This is, I would say, if you ask me, I would call this Cascadian black metal. Though it's from Tennessee and not from, the Cascadian region, they are still very much going for that sound, and that is fine by me. I think a lot of those bands are awesome. Maybe I'm not a huge fan of any of them, but I still have respect for stuff like Velonnic and Wolves in the Throne Room. I think bands like that, they almost kind of created this subgenre, and I think there's a lot of quality music that came from that. So check out Twilight Fauna. I remember them making some waves back in 2012 when this came out. I don't know if they're still active, but if you like Wolves in the Throne Room, Velonnic, Adora, Fen, stuff like that, look into Twilight Fauna. You might find something to dig here. We've got the 34th release from Sylvan Screams. We've got Terra Deep, black metal out of Oregon. Album is called Immorata. And this was their second full-length album. I have not listened to it yet, but I'm working on it. And from 2016, we have the fourth full-length album from Mexican black metal band Astaroth. This is Forest of Dead Stars / Frosty Valley. Look at that cool J card, by the way. I know some of you might think that's generic. but I'm a sucker for this kind of, black metal imagery, mountains and nature and stuff like that. And I'm not the most naturey dude. I don't go outside all the time or anything, but I'm a sucker for those kind of landscapes, Haven't listened to this one just yet. Black metal from Mexico, like I said, I think there's been a lot of great black metal from Mexico. A lot of stuff that kind of goes under the radar just because of the country, being a little more remote, a little less fortunate than countries like the U.S. But when I hear black metal from Mexico, I almost always want to check it out. I don't know about you guys, but that's the direction I usually go in. Then the 31st release from Sylvan Screams, I don't know how to pronounce this, Jesu Christ, maybe? I'm going to say Jesu Christ. What is this called? Of Majestic Darkness. Black metal out of Norway, actually. The only demo that they ever did from 2015. Obviously, Norway is not the Norway that it was in the 90s as far as black metal goes, but you hear black metal from Norway, you still go, I want to check that out. They still have that lineage that you just can't beat. And then his 17th release. This one stands apart from all these because this is death metal. Engulfed in Blackness. Brutal death metal, I'd call it. From Tennessee, debut album from 2014. I've sampled a little bit of this, and this is really good death metal. Really good death metal. If you like stuff like Morbid Angel, but Morbid Angel meets maybe a little bit more of the modern brutal death metal sound, check out Engulfed in Blackness. I think you'd actually really, really dig this. Little treat for you death metal guys, because that's the only death metal thing I'll be showing. And I'm almost done, but I got a couple more. Now I've got a couple of CDs. I think I've got three CDs. So we're going to start with Trolldom, Swedish black metal debut demo from 2016. Now I remember hearing this band, but it's been a while, so I can't really say too much of what they sound like. I remember it being really good, so I'm excited to dive back into this band. Trolldom from Sweden. And from the U.S., New York State, actually. First album from Velonnic Sin from 2005. This did come out on blackmetal.com record label, so do what you will with that. I know that label's become kind of a joke among black metal fans, but they did release some good stuff. Let's be fucking honest. Not everything they put out was bad. So a lot of it was. I have not heard Velonnic Sin just yet, but again, just because they came out on blackmetal.com doesn't mean I'm not going to at least give it a shot. And the last thing we'll be showing today, Equinox, black metal from France. Final album, I think it was his third or fourth album from 2005. This one, really, really good. I've listened to this. Now, I have never heard Equinox, but I have heard some of the albums that this guy, Stefan Kojak, I think his name was. I have heard other stuff he's done, like Mystic, was it Mystic Forest? I think it was Mystic Forest. It was really good. Had an album called Green Hell. But yeah, this Equinox, man, this was awesome. From what I've heard from the Equinox fans, this is not the strongest material, from the band, but I thought it was really good. Metal Archives has it listed, I think it's like avant-garde black metal, and that works for the most part. It this band kind of rode the fine line between like experimental sounding black metal and traditional sounding black metal, very much French sounding. France just has early 2000s. A lot of cool bands were playing that kind of raw with melodic riffs, kind of sometimes kind of medieval sounding. I don't know if I'd call this medieval sounding, but it just has that French sound from the early 2000s. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, because I really liked a lot of that stuff. Bands like Bekhira and Desolation Triumphalis and stuff like that. Iconskaden, I think, kind of touches on the sounds of those bands, but again, a little bit more experimental. Don't let the experimental or avant-garde tag push you away. It's not that weird. It's just kind of unique sounding, but really, really, really good. He sadly took his own life some years back, but he was a super talented dude. If you like black metal, I think there's a lot you could enjoy by digging through his past catalog. So R.I.P. Stefan Kojak. He didn't die recently. This was years back, but I just thought I'd say my part. It's sad when people do shit like that. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't understand, or I'm not condemning or bad talking people that are no longer with us. But it's fucking sad. What can I say? Yeah. Again, Infernusrex. I won't say your full name just in case you don't want that out there. But thank you so much. As you can tell, I've only heard maybe half this stuff so far, but I am working my way through it, and I've been having a good time. I've liked everything that I've heard so far. You did a really good job with your label, and I think it'd be cool if you brought it back. I know it's easier said than done. Running a label, not an easy thing to do, even on a small scale. I've done distro stuff myself, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. I can't imagine what it's like to actually put releases out. I'm sure it's fun, but I'm sure it's a headache as well. So I can't thank you enough. Maybe someday I can send you something back if I can figure out something that you would enjoy. Something, if I find something out there, out and about or whatever. But everyone watching, I hope you found something to look into as well. A lot of bands I just threw at you, and I think they're all worth looking into. So anyways, as always, thanks for stopping by, and we will talk soon, huh? Cheers.